sitting room at her apartment downstairs when she overheard some movement at the staircase that connected the up apartment to her own apartment. She wondered what could be going on at the stairs, and at this time of the day, Humphrey had gone for his business, while Gift was yet to come back from school. As she moved towards the connecting stairs to see if all was okay, she was dumbfounded as she saw the yoke-breaker prophet kissing her daughter-in-law Felicia passionately. Their kisses were so passionate that they did not notice Mama Aggie approaching. "So, this is how you break the yoke, Mr. Prophet." Once in a faraway city of Lano lived an 80-year-old woman called Madame Agnes. Madame Agnes had just retired from her many businesses and settled down in the mansion which she'd built together with her late husband, Mr. Romanus. Mama Aggie, as she was fondly called by friends and folks, was always seated in her sitting room, hand knitting clothes and sweaters with wool. In the evening time, she was always at her backyard, tending to her vegetable garden. Mama Aggie was the jovial grandma in her community, whose words of wisdom always echoes far and wide the community of Lano. A year ago, she had lost her heartthrob, Mr. Romanus, to the cold hands of death at the age of 90, but her solace was that he lived and enjoyed his dream retirement lifestyle. With their daughter Gift, his heartthrob Roma had the gift of a daughter which he never had until he was 75. One early morning, some 15 years ago, Mama Aggie opened her door to go for her business when she was startled with the noise of a crying baby. She had been carefully wrapped in a blanket and kept by the corner of the flower in front of her house. She quickly picked the crying baby and showed it to her husband, Mr. Romanus. Supported by her husband, they took her to the hospital and agreed to foster her. It was a baby girl. Perhaps God has given them a daughter at their old age, they both agreed. Mama Aggie and her husband, Mr. Roma, had only but a son called Humphrey. It could only be natural for them to be happy to have a baby girl, despite their age. They therefore finally agreed to adopt her and named her Gift. Building their dream retirement home in Lano, their homestead, was their dream. They had spent their youthful age in the city of Otago. "I want to retire in Lano, in a beautiful mansion by the beachside," Mr. Romanus said to his heartthrob Mama Aggie. Soon enough, they were able to build their dream beachfront mansion in the city of Lano, which was Mr. Roma's homestead. Soon, after building their dream home and settling in, Mama Aggie discovered a big market in the city of Lano. She will order agricultural products from the farmsteads of Otago to supply at the city of Lano. "I am still 65 years old and have not yet retired," she informed her heartthrob, Mr. Romanus. It was a big business that gave both her and her husband, Mr. Romanus, their dream lifestyle at old age. To crown it all, they also had a daughter which they never had in their youth. Mama Aggie quickly hired a nanny who took care of her daughter Gift. Their only son, Humphrey, was always away at the university and only comes back during holiday. It was a happy retirement life, full of enjoyment for Mr. Romanus. That was how Mr. Romanus lived with his heartthrob, Mama Aggie, enjoying his retirement until he passed on at 90. After the death of Mr. Romanus, Humphrey, their son, came back to Lano in the company of his wife, Felicia. After his father's burial, Humphrey and his wife decided to stay back at Lano. Mama cannot be living in this big mansion all by herself. She definitely needs someone to take care of her. They both agreed. Mama Aggie was very happy to have her son and her daughter-in-law to come over to live with her. So she quickly called Humphrey and handed him over all her business connections and capital. I am 80 years old now. You can continue with my business, she said. I can only stay around and do the work around the house. Let me knit the clothes and do the gardening, she said. If you ever have any challenge or need an advice, I am always available. So her son, Humphrey, took over her businesses, which provided their daily upkeep. Soon, after Humphrey and his wife settled into the city of Lano, Mama Aggie called his son and his wife Felicia and advised them to go to the hospital to find out if they were okay, for they had been married for 10 years without a child. But each time Mama Aggie brought up the matter of visiting the hospital, her daughter-in-law Felicia was embittered. She would quickly sweep the conversation under the carpet, insisting that her prophet said that her childlessness is spiritual and not medical. Soon, Felicia began to complain about Mama Agnes. She is the witch that had blocked my womb from conception, she said, accusing Mama Aggie of being responsible for her childlessness. Her prophet also visited her and prophesied. I will break the yoke, he shouted at the top of his voice. He also prophesied the death of Mama Agnes. So one day, Felicia thought to herself and said, how can I be cooking and be giving food to a witch? It is better I stop giving her food. Let me see how she can fend for herself at her age. She also reported her to Humphrey, her husband. Mama should be living downstairs, she said, complaining bitterly. She always makes a mess of the sitting room with her hand-knitting work, she said. When she was complaining to Humphrey, Mama Aggie overheard it and decided that for peace to reign, she had to move downstairs with her daughter Gift, while leaving his son Humphrey and his wife to live their lives upstairs. So she moved with her daughter Gift, and they began to live downstairs. 2 weeks after she moved downstairs, one day she was at the sitting room at her apartment downstairs when she overheard some movement at the staircase that connected the up apartment to her own apartment. She wondered what could be going on at the stairs, and at this time of the day, Humphrey had gone for his business, while Gift was yet to come back from school. As she moved towards the connecting stairs to see if all was okay, she was dumbfounded as she saw the yoke breaker prophet kissing her daughter-in-law Felicia passionately. Their kisses were so passionate that they did not notice Mama Aggie approaching. So, this is how you break the yoke, Mr. Prophet, Mama Aggie shouted as she screamed for somebody to help her. At that moment, the door was opened, and it was Gift, her daughter. Mama, what is the matter? Gift asked. Mama Aggie could hardly talk. She just sat there at the floor and pointed towards the stairs. But before Gift could go check out what was happening, the prophet had disappeared through the back staircase. Mama Aggie cried all through the afternoon until evening time, refusing to tell anyone what has happened or to talk to anyone. Finally, it was 7 p.m. that same day, and Humphrey was back from his business. Mama Aggie called him into her bedroom and began to narrate what she had seen that afternoon. My eyes saw my ears today, she said. Could you believe that I saw the so-called breaker of the yoke prophet kissing your wife passionately at the stairs today, she said, tears streaming down her cheeks. But before Mama Aggie could finish, what she was saying, Felicia bumped into her room. I swear with the Bible, honey, your mother is lying, she said. All she was saying is a lie. She was simply saying this because she hates me and because I'm childless, she said, and she started crying. Oh my God, that gives children, she added. Or maybe she should be taken to hospital, no, as this might be the early signs of dementia, Felicia suggested innocently. Humphrey stood there, confused, trying to choose between the devil and the deep blue sea. Will he believe his wife, or will he believe his mother? Or does it mean that his mother has dementia, he thought. So the next morning, Mama Aggie was at the hospital with her daughter Gift. Good morning, Dr. Walter, she greeted. I am here for a checkup. Someone said I have dementia. Check me up and know if it is true. Dr. Walter could hardly hold his laughter. Mama Aggie, the action woman, you have not changed, he said. Obviously, you are sound and there is no trace of dementia anywhere around you, Dr. Walter said after all the medical examination. So as soon as Mama Aggie was back from the hospital, she called Humphrey and said, I hope one day God helps you to find out the truth. But before that day, I have to leave you and your wife alone. I can't stand your stupidity anymore, she said, as she packed her things and moved away in a taxi with her daughter Gift. It has been a year since after Mama Aggie left, and neither Felicia nor Humphrey, her son, had asked of her. She had gone to live by herself, Felicia told one of her friends, Kate. She will soon come back, and before then, I would have had a baby, and there will not even be any more space for her in this house, she said. That same week was Mama Aggie's 81st birthday, and it was an occasion she celebrated with the high and mighty in attendance. The national television and all the media houses were there to cover the well-attended occasion. People ate to their satisfaction and had lots of packages to go home with. So, as Humphrey and his wife Felicia sat down to watch the national television show that Saturday, they saw their mother's birthday being shown on the celebrities show. And they sat together to watch. They were astonished at the event. Where did this woman even get the money to host this kind of occasion? Felicia asked. As they continued to watch the unfolding occasion, Mama Aggie also read her will in the presence of all her guests and her lawyer. As for my estate, she said, my daughter Gift takes over my estate whenever I am gone. Which estates? Asked Felicia. Where did she even get those estates from? She queried. Well, this house is the only property I know my mother owned along with my father. Could it be that my father owned an estate which Mama has kept secret from me all this while and now wants to will it to that bastard she picked in front of the house? Said Humphrey, shouting on top of his voice. So Humphrey quickly prepared a lawyer and moved over to take what rightfully belongs to him. For it was his father's estate. As Humphrey entered the estate which his mother had built with his lawyer, he was disappointed to know that his mother bought and built the estate a year ago before she handed over her business to Humphrey and went for retirement. For Mama Aggie was wise enough to know that she must keep something tangible to take care of herself at her retirement. Mama Aggie had kept the estate a secret as she lived with his son, his daughter-in-law, and his adopted daughter Gift to see who could take over the estate in her will when she is gone. Her adopted daughter Gift, though only 15, had passed the test, opting to discomfort herself sometimes to make sure Mama was comfortable. She was always helping Mama in her knitting work and gardening, washing her clothes and cooking for her, promising her that she would get a job and take good care of her after her high school. Felicia and Humphrey, on the other hand, failed the test because they could not treat Mama Aggie well. And that made Mama Agnes to will her entire estate to her daughter Gift. The house could no longer contain Humphrey and his wife Felicia. "You made me treat my own mother badly, you whore," he shouted at her. Humphrey began to remember all his mother's words and how she advised them to go to hospital and how Felicia refused to go. He insisted that they must go to hospital to know why they had been childless. That weekend, Felicia packed all her bags and disappeared. It was obvious that she had a secret that had kept them childless. Humphrey went to Mama Aggie and asked for forgiveness, and soon enough, he got married and gave Mama Agnes her first grandchild. The moral lesson of this story is that we should take care of our elderly people in our lives. You never know what blessings it holds for you. Another lesson is that in as much as is in your hands, plan for your retirement and do not depend on anybody.